What if tomorrow you woke up and just like that, you had the body you've always dreamed of? Your health was on point, energy levels were high, and your confidence, through the roof. Completely Possible Fitness wants you to know that it's possible to change your life and make your dreams come true. We specialize in weight loss, muscle building, functional training, group exercise, and nutritional advice. Don't let another day go by not having exactly what you want. Contact Copo Fit and let us help transform your life. Copo Fit is on all social media, or you can email us at copofit@gmail.com. That's COPOFIT@gmail.com. Do you love drama as much as I do? Plot shifts and heart-pounding turns will keep you enthralled in the new book, Soiled Sheets by Phoenix Ash. Dana and Marshall are drawn to each other, but their flame has a tendency to burn and splinter all that once mattered, quite possibly even each other. Will they make it through the debris or become part of the ruins? Find out when you purchase your copy of Soiled Sheets by Phoenix Ash, now available via Amazon Books and all Kindle devices, and it's free with Kindle Unlimited.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at?
Well, actually, I live in Delaware now, so does that make me a Delawarean?
Sing it, girl.
You know, Beyonce is my friend in my head. Jay my people sometimes, too.
Yeah. I mean, like, be true, man.
You know, when I was a kid, I had an imaginary enemy. Like, does that make me crazy?
Life as P, presented by Say What Radio.
Hey guys, welcome back to Life is P. I'm your host, Phoenix Ash, and I thank you for joining me. I'm actually here with my daughter as she sits in the bathtub, and I'm watching her, making sure that she's safe and she's playing, having a great time. So if you hear her or hear water in the background, it's because I'm multitasking and being a mommy. And this is life. This is my life, and I'm not ashamed of it. So if this is the first time you're joining me, thank you. I appreciate you giving me a shot. I appreciate whoever recommended this, whatever social media platform you found me on, or if it was just by chance, thank you for tuning in. If you are a repeat listener, you know that I appreciate you, but I'm not going to let the day go by without me telling you so. So thank you. So I want to get into it. A lot of the stuff that comes up in these podcasts are through conversation, right? Because I'm always running my mouth, always talking to someone. So a lot of the thoughts that I want to like run past you or discuss on the show comes through conversation and or experiences. And one of the things that really struck me this week was that it took me my entire life to call myself a writer. I've been writing basically my whole life. When I was a 10-year-old little girl, I was writing poetry, rap songs. I was writing poems and stories and editing other people's stuff. I was contributing to speeches. I was doing all kinds of stuff, writing roles for other people. But it took me my entire life to call myself a writer. I had to publish books before I recognized myself as a writer. And that's disappointing to me. So basically, the whole show is don't be like me. I want you to recognize the things that are inside you, the things that make you special, the things that you want to pursue, that you've worked for, that you've gone to school for, or you've studied on, or you've practiced. You have those things within you. Sometimes we wait for other people to validate our talents and validate what it is that we do before we can step up to the plate and claim that as ours. And you don't have to do that. Go ahead and claim that thing. Go ahead and say that it's you. Go ahead and say that that's what you do, particularly when you've practiced it, studied it, gotten certified in it, got a degree in it. I mean, if I was an accountant, I would think that if I went to school for accounting and I passed all my exams or series exam, whatever is required to be an accountant, I'm not one, so I don't know all the details. But because I don't work at an accounting firm, doesn't mean I'm not an accountant, right? So I've worked for certain things to get to a certain level. And where I am now is the culmination of all those things that I've worked for, right? We talked about this on a show a couple weeks back was I don't always want to be from the perspective of I'm working on something. I want to be in full bloom. I want to recognize where I'm at and all the work that I've done. So I think it goes back to that point. Always sitting there, I'd like to write. I'm working on a piece, but never truly saying I'm a writer. And I don't know if that's the thing for you. Maybe you want to be a caterer and you make meals for people. People pay you to cater certain events. People pay you for dinners. Maybe you're selling dinners outside your home. Maybe you are traveling and selling dinners or lunches that way and going to corporate places and providing meals. But are you calling yourself a caterer? Because you are that. That is what you do. Someone sent me something to ask about my editing, and they wanted my pricing and they wanted some samples. And I was hesitant to answer them, hesitant to send in my information. And I'll tell you why. First, it is looked down upon in a lot of areas when you do your own editing, which I do. I'm going to be completely transparent. I do. I do my own editing. And one of the reasons why is because I had professors who poured into me when I was in school to get my master's in creative writing. And I was willing, like, I will pay you to edit my works. And I had a professor who was like, honestly, you don't need it. And not that you don't need an additional reader. Trust me, I am not that good that I don't need someone to come read behind me. But he was saying that from our experience together, I was definitely someone who could read my work and find out what the issues were and go back and correct it. So any major editing that needed to be done, I was fully capable of reading the work by myself and, you know, fixing it. Now, I do need someone to come behind me and look at spelling errors or where I missed a letter or missed a word and so forth. And I do have a reader who does that, who does like another read through. And, you know, neither one of us is perfect. I think the work is very good for us to be doing it on our own. I'm not going to give you something that looks like a first or even a second draft. I'm going to give you something that's been worked on tirelessly. So that's that. But, you know, it's very much promoted. You need an editor. And I do agree because I edit for other people. However, I'm hesitant. I can probably get a lot more clients if I was a lot more confident. So because my reader sometimes catches errors, it makes me doubt myself and, hey, maybe I'm not as good as I thought I was. Maybe my eyes aren't that clear, but it's my work. So I'm too attached to it to see everything. I've been in it too much to see everything, which is why I need someone else to run their eyes over it and see what is popping out to them, what looks strange, what doesn't make sense, what questions they have, where I missed a letter, where I referenced she rather than he, or things like that. And sometimes it's not so easy to catch when it's you and your own stuff. But I'm not the most forgiving of myself. So because I'm very hesitant to give people now I know that let me finish my thought. I cut my own self off. I'm hesitant because I'm not confident in the line editing piece. I've done it for other people and they've come back and said that I've done a great job and it was worth every penny. However, I'm still to this day hesitant before I say, yeah, I do line editing. I do, but I don't know. I'm just not fully there. And I need to own it because I do it. And from what I hear from customer response, I do it well. So, and the person who asked me for my pricing has read some of my work. And they asked me first, who does my editing? So it was enough where they were like, you know, I think she's pretty, like her stuff is pretty well edited. Let me ask her who does her editing. And here I go, me. And you still asked me for my pricing. So there was something already there. Something already got you believing in the work that I was going to answer about. So why I'm questioning myself, I don't know. I'm still a work in progress, obviously. But I don't know. But I'm disappointed in that. And I'm going to work on that. And I don't know if that's the area that you need to work on as well, that you're not claiming this thing that you've practiced and worked on and you've gotten some degree of expertise in it, but you're not owning your expertise. Now, I will say that I do developmental editing and I do that extremely well, but that's because I've been moving paragraphs around and bringing out people's stories for a very, very long time because I also did that when I wrote music. And a lot of times when people would come to me with their songs or come to me with lyrics and ask me to sort of arrange things in a way that sounded better to the ear or that flowed better or that told their story the way that they wanted to tell their story, I've been doing that for years. I mean, a lot of years, over 15 years. So I'm confident in that. And I'm like, well, I've done that. But I'm like, is it going to take me 15 years to be confident in the fact that I can also line edit, that I am a writer? I am a writer. But again, I said, it took me to publish some works before I said I'm a writer. It still sounds funny coming out of my mouth sometimes when I go on contract jobs, because like I told you before, writing does not fully fund me just yet. It does not yet. I say yet because I know it's coming. And that is my daughter pouring the water from her bucket back into the tub because she needs to be heard. So now hear her. But I had to publish works. And so sometimes when I'm on these contract jobs and people are talking to me and they're like, oh, you do something outside of here? Yeah, absolutely. I'm a writer. And I get like girlish. I'm like, it just tickles my spine. I'm like, like I'm claiming that. And it seems so weird. It's still not natural to me to let it just come out. So I have to keep saying it. I am a writer. I'm an author. I'm an editor. I have to keep saying it and train my brain to know that that is a part of me. That's a part of my DNA, because for so long I've been claiming it as something on the side or something additional that I do, but not necessarily claiming it as who I am. And it's always been who I am. It's always been a huge chunk of me. There are people who reach out to me who were friends or acquaintances in high school or junior high school. And the first thing they ask is, are you still writing? Or when I say that I've published something or I've edited something, they grin and says, makes sense. I knew you would do it. This is what you've always done. And I'm just like, wow, these people who I'm not even in contact with on a regular basis have always believed in my capability of achieving this. And yet it still took me my entire life to step up to the plate and claim it as mine. What's the deal with that? What are we doing with ourselves? What are we pouring into ourselves? And I think to some degree, I explore this in long neck bottles. If you haven't picked it up, it's available on Amazon, Kindle, as well as Audible and iTunes. So shameless plug there. But I think I explore it to some degree about what we're pouring into ourselves or what we're giving access to ourselves and how we have to reprogram what it is that we're drinking in about ourselves. Because it should not have taken me my entire life to claim this thing that I've been doing my entire life, that I've been enjoying my entire life, that I've been working towards every day, whether it be on the side, whether it be in my dreams, whether it be in my conversation, whether it be in what things I take up in school. I've always been working on it some way, somehow. And sometimes living my life was working on the stories that I'm going to tell, because you have to live a little life in order to connect to other people's lives. At least I believe so. So what is it in your life that you are hesitating to claim as yours? You've worked for it, you've studied for it, you've prepared for it, but you're not claiming it. What is it? Claim it. Go take it. It's yours. People around you have claimed it for you. They're coming to you, offering to pay you for it. They're asking you for resources, asking you for price sheets, asking you for menus, asking you to come film. asking you to come speak, to come train, to show them how, they're recognizing your expertise. Why aren't you? What is the holdup? Don't wait for a specific accomplishment in order to say that that thing is yours or that you do that thing. Because in order to get the accomplishment, you have to do it. You have to be it. So that's what got you to the accomplishment, is you being active in that thing. So again, the whole show is basically, don't be like me. Don't wait your entire life to grab that thing by the horns and say, I've got you conquered. I'm going to do this. And yeah, I have more work to do. Absolutely. I've only published 5 books. I've only published 2 of them, which are novels, and I love to write fiction. So I'm working on an ebook series. I'm working on audiobooks for my fiction books because I have a girlfriend who really inspired me. A couple of them. One who told me about Audible and how to get my stuff on Audible and was like, you should try this thing. So I was like, okay, gung ho. And then I think my confirmation was that I met someone recently who I bonded to very quickly, who said that she likes to purchase books and purchase the Audible version because she likes to listen to the Audible while she reads the book. First of all, she's an author's dream. Because if you're on several platforms, the fact that she purchased your stuff on more than one platform is like, wow, you purchased my stuff twice. That's wonderful. So kudos to her. I feel like I want to introduce her to every author I know. I'm like, this is the audience. Not that any other audience doesn't matter, but oh my God, that's so extra. And I love it. But I'm working on these things and I got the confirmation. And the crazy thing is, so Long Neck Bottles, my narrator is someone that I found through another platform and I worked with in order for Long Neck Bottles to get complete. And part of the reason why I worked with this narrator was because there were all these rules to how to set up the audio. And I was like, oh my God, I don't think I'm equipped. I don't think I can do it. And so I was like, let somebody else do it and let me see how it turns out. And it turned out pretty well. But then I started to ask myself, well, I have resources here. So we have a studio here because I used to rap and my husband used to make beats. And I guess, well, I can't say used to for him. He still does. But we've both, done the pre-work for engineering for projects and so forth. And it was like, we have the resources. We have the tools. Why are we not claiming this? And why are we not being active in it and just shutting our eyes and saying, come on now, let's put in the work. And so I'm actually trying to record the audiobook for Soiled Sheets on my own. So if you feel like it's taking me forever to release this thing, it's because it's not easy and there are a lot of rules that I have to abide by, but I'm getting through it. So hopefully it'll all be approved. And when it's approved and it goes through, I will definitely let you guys know. But I'm kind of excited, although I'm afraid. True transparency, I'm afraid. I'm like, well, what if it doesn't get approved? Or what if they don't believe in the quality of the audio? Or what if I'm not that great of a reader? Or what if people don't want to hear my voice? Is it changing enough? Is it changing too much? Am I too into character? Am I not in character enough? Am I monotone? Am I sounding that great? I question myself all the time. I don't need anybody to come beat me up or say a bunch of negative things to me because I got that. I've got it covered. You have no clue how much reprogramming I have to do in order to get rid of that stuff. So, and I've done a lot. Believe me, I've done a lot. So there's more to be done. So I am afraid. However, I'm doing it anyway because I want to claim it anyway. And I'm trying to train myself to think that if it doesn't work out the first time or if it doesn't get approved, usually when it doesn't get approved, they will tell you why. So go fix it and then resubmit it. It does not have to be the end. It doesn't mean that you don't record audiobooks. It doesn't mean that you are not a producer of audiobooks. It means you need another draft. That's what not approved means. You need to do it again. That's all. And that's a hard thing to grasp in my spirit. It's great to say it out loud, but I have to keep saying it so that my spirit sort of gets it and, tucks it in and let it become part of it, to just understand and know that, listen, you got to take the feedback, you got to fix it, you got to move forward with it, but it does not mean that you are not that thing. Just like when you write a book, because the reader comes back and says you have spelling errors here, and there, doesn't mean that you can't look at somebody else's work and point out those same errors. Because somebody comes back and says, this part of the story isn't clear, I have questions about X, Y, and Z. Shout out, I think somebody has a book series called X, Y, and Z. But check it out and let me know how that goes. But anyhow, because you have these questions, it doesn't mean that you're not a writer. It doesn't mean that you haven't figured out how to write well. It just means you need another draft. And sometimes you don't need another draft. Sometimes it's through conversation, because also you got to understand you can't fix everyone's perception with one story. You can't do that. And that, I think, goes across the board no matter what industry you're in. If you try to control everyone's perspective and get everyone on the same plane, you're not going to make any progress, because people come to the table with their own set of experiences and their own perspectives, their own rose or non-rose colored glasses, and they're looking at things from a certain angle. And sometimes those angles are things you never considered. And then you have other people who are reading it who totally get it, who totally get what you're looking at. So you can't fix all of that, and you can't doubt yourself because of that. Not everyone is going to get you. Not everyone's going to get what you do, but you've worked for it. You've studied for it. You've practiced. You've gotten certified. You've gotten educated. Claim that thing. Go ahead and claim that thing. Don't take your whole life to say, oh, now she's pretending she's swimming. How cute. Sorry for that, but don't wait your entire life to claim who you are and what you do. I don't want that for you, because I want you to live in it. I want you to bask in it. And I feel like once you accept that that's the thing that you do, and once you own it, that you'll do so much more of it. And if that's the thing that you truly enjoy, the thing that you're passionate about, the thing that you're chasing, why not go ahead and claim it, bask in it, and do much more of it? You deserve it. You've worked this hard. You've gotten this far. Claim it. Do it. And I'm not just talking to you. I'm talking to myself, because even though I'm having these affirmative statements, even though I'm having these revelations, it doesn't mean that I've totally embraced them, but I know that I should. I know that I should. My parents died at a very early time in my life, but one thing that they've always instilled in me is that I deserve the best, and I deserve to live a wonderful life, especially if that wonderful life is the one that I've worked for. And so that part, my body will never let go. My spirit will never let go of that. So I always have some sort of self-correction inside to say, wait a minute, how is this in line with you living your best life? So I know that I should embrace it. I know that I am a writer. I am an author, and I have to keep saying it. I am a producer of audiobooks. I am an editor. I have to keep saying it. And that's my advice to you. Keep saying it. Keep telling yourself that. Keep working for it. Keep getting your expertise, keep getting educated, keep practicing, keep going forward, but stop hiding. Stop hiding. People are reaching out for you, looking for you, asking for your help, asking for your assistance. Stop hiding and figuring that when you reach a certain accomplishment, you'll all of a sudden be comfortable handing out this service. Because look, I've got accomplishments, and I'm still struggling with being okay with handing out this service with that people are willing to pay for. Let's stop hiding. Let's stop hiding. Let's claim that thing. And let's not take our entire lives to take what's ours and claim what's ours and be who we are called to be. Let's not take our entire lives. Let's have so much life after the point. There's so much life to live. Once I own it, I'm here. And now I have the rest of my days to live in that and do much more of that, and just know that that's who I am, and grow and move on to the next thing I am, to the next goal, to the next writer, to be the next kind of writer, the screenwriter. I am a screenwriter. I do that. I'm educated in that. I actually have a whole master's in screenwriting. So I am a screenwriter. I do that. So you do that. You cater, you're a photographer, you're, you film, you're a videographer, you are a lawyer, you're an accountant. Well, lawyer and accountant, like get your degrees and your certification though. Get that. Don't start parading around like a lawyer and accountant and you're not certified in any of that stuff. But you hear what I'm saying. I know you get it. If you want to reach out to me, please feel free to contact me on Twitter as well as Instagram. I'm at P Writes, and that's the letter P, WRITES. If you'd like to support me, yay, and purchase any of my books, again, Long Neck Bottles is available on Amazon, Kindle, as well as Audible and iTunes. In Her Makeup, my first novel, yay, is available on both Amazon and Kindle. Soiled Sheets, which is the first of a series, is available on Amazon and Kindle and soon to come to Audible and iTunes. Any questions, anything you want to discuss, again, reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram at P Writes. I love conversation. I love getting into it. You know, if you have topic suggestions or something that you want my opinion on, I love to give my opinion. Let's talk about it. Or if you just want to give me yours, let's talk about it. Okay, until next time when we can exchange our power. Peace.